Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Latest move hints Cowboy star is going to rob Jerry Jones blind with new deal. It is way too early to look ahead to the offseason, but the Dallas Cowboys season is on the verge of spiraling out of control. If they lose to the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday and fall to 3-5, attention will shift from a potential playoff appearance to getting a high pick in the 2025 draft. Recent off-seasons in Dallas have been just as tiresome as the regular season. The front office prolonged CeeDee Lamb's extension until the very end of training camp, and Dak Prescott didn't sign until hours before the 2024 season opener. Micah Parsons' new deal with headline the 2025 offseason. Those negotiations will in all likelihood mirror that of Lamb and Prescott in terms of being dragged out. Parsons may even follow Lamb's lead in staging a holdout. That doesn't even account for the Cowboys' laundry list of free agents and other extension candidates. Luckily, the franchise has a lot of money coming off the books, but that won't stop a particular star player from taking Jerry Jones to the contract cleaners. Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubray wants a new contract. Cowboys all-world kicker Brandon Aubray has new representation. He is now represented by Athletes First and agent Todd France announced on Instagram. You might remember it was France who negotiated Dak Prescott's record-setting contract. Former Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald and Ravens running back Derrick Henry are among France's star clients. Henry has earned a whopping $65 million in his career, per Spotrac. Pretty impressive for a running back. Arguably the best defensive player of his generation, Donald made over $157 million in his career. If history repeats itself, Aubray is primed to rob the Joneses blind. The kicker. Pun not intended. Aubray isn't a free agent until 2026. The Cowboys' current regime normally waits until a star's rookie deal expires to negotiate an extension. Luckily for Aubray, he doesn't play a premier position, so Dallas may have incentive to sign him ahead of time. On a historic pace over his first two seasons, Aubray should absolutely reset the kicker market. Chiefs star Harrison Butker currently makes the most at the position both in terms of annual average value, $6.4 million, and total guaranteed money, $17.75 million. While Butker has a longer track record of success relative to Aubray, the Cowboys star is the game's premier kicker. Since 2023, Aubray's first year, no kicker has made more field goals than Aubray's 53. He was a perfect 10 for 10 on kicks beyond 50 yards and only missed 2 field goals all season. There's an argument to be made that Aubray has been Dallas' best player this season. He made a franchise record 65-yarder in Week 3 against the Ravens and would have tied the NFL record for longest field goal with a 66-yarder in Week 1 if not for a delay of game penalty. Aubray is going to get paid sooner than later, and he is well within his rights to command a new deal as soon as the 2025 offseason. Cowboys Jerry Jones gives a meat-on-the-bone answer ahead of NFL trade deadline. With the NFL trade deadline only days away, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones appears ready to wheel and deal. During a radio appearance on 105.3 The Fan, Jones was asked about making a trade and responded, "If I see something, we look for all the meat on the bone that can improve our team." Throughout the season's first several weeks, the Cowboys made it sound like they had no intentions of making any moves. Perhaps Dallas's struggles during their past 2 games opened their eyes because the front office suddenly sounds more open-minded. These comments are far from being all in, which Jones claimed the team was during the offseason. However, the Cowboys are at a potential crossroads as they look to make the playoffs for a 4th consecutive year under Mike McCarthy's watch. They enter play in Week 9 at just 3-4 and are sitting in 3rd place in the NFC East behind the Washington Commanders and Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas's next 4 opponents have winning records, making the Cowboys' uphill climb even more difficult. Making a move before the November 5 trade deadline could give the Cowboys a much-needed spark, but that seems highly unlikely with how Dallas navigated the offseason fleshing out their roster. Instead of making a trade, Dallas's current plan is to depend on its younger players to step up. On top of that, the Cowboys are hoping for a boost from the return of injured players like Micah Parsons, Darren Bland, DeMarcus Lawrence, Brandon Cooks, and Marshawn Kneeland. The problem is that the Cowboys might be in too big of a hole by the time that happens. And there's no guarantee other critical Cowboys players won't suffer injuries. Proposed trade has Cowboys land $80 million star playmaker. The Cowboys have just a few days remaining to make a major move ahead of the NFL trade deadline on November 5, 2024. One name to watch as the NFL trade deadline nears is Los Angeles Rams receiver Cooper Kupp. The Cowboys could use some additional receiving threats beyond CeeDee Lamb. Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer believes the Rams are seeking something in the neighborhood of a future second-round pick for Kupp. Let's explore a hypothetical scenario where the Cowboys are considering sending a second-rounder to the Rams for Kupp. During an October 30 interview on the Ryan Russillo podcast, Breer reported that the Rams took calls on potentially trading Kupp. The challenge is the Rams' asking price is unlikely going to be met by the Cowboys or any other teams given his recent injury history. The case for the Cowboys making a move is Dallas needs more offensive firepower to go with Lamb. Dallas is in danger of missing the postseason and may need to outscore teams with the way the defense has played in 2024. Heading into 2024, Kupp missed a combined 13 games over the last 2 seasons. Kupp has played just 3 games during the 2024 season as the receiver has dealt with multiple injuries in recent years. The wideout has had 3 straight seasons without reaching 1,000 receiving yards. It is not just the injuries that should give the Cowboys pause about acquiring Kupp. The former Pro Bowler also comes with a hefty price tag. Kupp has a 3-year, $80 million contract that is slated to run through the 2026 season. Kupp posted 59 receptions for 737 yards and 5 touchdowns in 12 starts during the 2023 season. The wideout has 23 receptions for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns in 3 appearances in 2024.